Let's get into the streaming selections because there are a few new movies available to stream this past week. The most notable non-documentary that we got is over on Hulu, starring Joey King. She plays the princess, a strong-willed princess who refuses to wed the cruel would-be king. She's kidnapped and placed at the top of a tower and must fight her way down while saving her family. Art, what did you think of this action-packed medieval set movie with Joey King at its center?
I think there's a reason why I have a rating called a Stream It specifically for movies like this. I think it's an interesting concept. I like the fact that it's rated R. I like this whole idea of a princess who's locked in the tower instead of someone coming to save her. It's like a Judge Dredd. It's a reverse raid where instead of getting to the top, she's trying to get down.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for someone...
It does really feel raid inspired.
Right? I can't wait for someone to remake it and do that justice. Here, it's exactly what I would expect a Fox straight to Hulu movie to kind of be. But it's definitely on the lower end. I think we've gotten some good ones that have come to Hulu. There was the one where they were trapped out in the ice snowstorm. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
That one was pretty... No Exit. That one was pretty good.
There we go. That was solid. Yeah, I dug that.
You've Crush, which is a nice little rom-com. A bunch of these movies, even Fire Island, where they would have had theatrical releases. I could see this one being the one that gets put in theaters, and then you're like, I wish I saw this at home. And that's the gamble you play with this merger that happened, where a lot of these movies aren't even given the chance to go out there. A lot of the ones that we just mentioned, I would have loved to have seen in a theater. But yeah, this is the pipeline they've gone now, where all the 20th Century Fox ones go to Hulu. But this is one that definitely deserves to be there, because I don't think I could have put up with all the... it's like it's action, and then it'll just stop it so that Joey King could do her little Joey King thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah, too much for me. But I really like the cast. Olga Kurylenko's in this. What's his name? Cooper?
Dominic Cooper.
Yeah, he's playing like the bad guy in there, and I think they could have done a lot more with it. But
it's got a good evil face.
Yeah, it's got this PG-13 tone when they've already secured the R rating. And that's what confused me the most.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a little bit nastier, could have been a little bit meaner. It weirdly, like you said, almost feels like they wrote it to be PG-13 and then later on decided that they would go for the full R rating. Yeah.
It's weird.
But I do kind of feel like it actually is pretty effective in terms of what it's going for. Like, it's not, I don't think it's necessarily this high-minded, like, deconstruction of medieval society or anything like that, right? It feels like a movie that was started in an email that's read, what if the raid but medieval and girl power or something that. It's very kind of bare bones in its idea, but like when you sign up to watch a movie like this, you know, provided you're not being lied to, you're there for some like wince-inducing, bone-breaking action and some, you know, kind of fun little gags spread throughout. Like, it's not a movie that's taking itself too seriously, and I had a fun time with it by not taking it too seriously. You know, it's definitely not a movie that you should go out of your way for, but if you like these kind of like B-level action movies, I think this one's pretty satisfying.
Interesting. Would you go out of your way to rent it if it was we had our Blockbuster days?
I mean, maybe, yeah. I've never been like the biggest like B movie action fan, but like this one's okay. I think Joey King is a pretty solid action star. I think maybe the choreography doesn't necessarily do them the most benefits in all the moments, but there are a few moments that like she's really convincing, and I don't know, it's enough that it's like worth the price of whatever I probably would have rented it for, but it's on streaming, so that makes it that much easier.
There you go. It's over on Hulu, and I think we're going to be getting like a monthly one every single time. So instead of releasing in theaters, I don't know what the next one's going to be, but hey.
Yeah.
Big movies coming to Hulu.
Fox keeping the content flowing, keeping Hulu
by accident.
Packed.
They're just lucky that those things weren't shelved, you know, for a lot of these. They're finding a way to rewrap them. But I think it's interesting how you were describing it being an R. Man from Toronto, another one where it's a comedy action one that I think was also R for Netflix. So it's like, is this going to be the house for a lot of those? Like, unless you're Brad Pitt with Bullet Train, will you be able to get those into theaters, or will they usually be a big streaming premiere? I guess we'll see.